He had a station with the Lord. And when he looked like that, the Lord said, at your service. Verily we see your face turning to the sky. So surely we will turn you to a qibla with which you are pleased. So turn your face in the direction of the sacred mosque. And wherever you all turn your face in that direction. So that was an explicit text. Proclaiming the love of the Lord for the splendid Habib. So the Ummah was not turned to face the Kaaba save giving pleasure to this Habib. And care, divine concern from the real for the Hawa of al-Habib.
صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه. وبارك الله في مجمعكم.
May Allah bless your congregation.
وجزا الله الشيخ عبدالخالق خير الجزاء.
May Allah reward Sheikh AbdulKhaliq in the best manner.
وطول عمره في عافية وطاعة.
May Allah give him a long
بارك
lifespan.
في الحاضرين من أهل العلم وأهل الخير. بركة واسعة. وكان فيما تحمله تلك القصائد من المعاني.
Some of the meanings that were in these qasidas that were sung.
ما تتشيد به المباني.
That through which the edifices are established.
في بواطن أهل التداني.
From within or from the inner states of the people who are near.
أو المحبون لأهل التداني.
The most deserving of those, or the closest of those who are loved by the people who are near.
وقد سمعنا من كلام الشيخ النبهاني.
And we heard from the speech of the Shaykh al-Nabahani.
وهو واحد ممن تعلق بذاك الجناب.
And he was one of those who was attached to that person.
فكان هو وزوجته وأولاده يرون الحبيب صلى الله عليه وسلم.
He, his wife, and his children would see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
قال في يوم ليلة من الليالي كان عندي أحد أبنائي مريض.
He said one day one of my children was sick.
وكلمت ابنتي عائشة قبل النوم رغبتها في الصلاة على النبي.
So I spoke to my daughter Aisha before her sleeping and encouraged her to sing salawat on the Prophet.
فجاءت قبل منامها ب100 من الصلاة على النبي.
So before she slept, she did 100 salawat on the Prophet.
لقولها اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
She said in that formula.
فلما أصبحت قالت يا أبي البارحة رأيت رسول الله جاء إلى منزلنا.
She said, "Oh Father, last night I saw Allah's Messenger came to my room."
وطلب أخي محمد.
And he sought my brother Muhammad.
فقرأ عليه.
And recited over him.
قال وقد أصبح الولد معافى.
And that morning the boy was healthy.
قال وكان عمرها إذاك 8 سنوات.
And at that time she was 8 years old.
هذا حال الأسرة المحبة.
That was the state of this family of lovers.
يقول واعلم بأن من أحب أحمد.
And he said, know that the one who loves Ahmad,
لابد أن يهوى اسمه مرددا.
he must love to hear his name repeated.
ما يمكن يحب ثم يكره الاسم.
You can't love and then he couldn't love and then not like the name.
ما يمكن يحب ويتضايق من المدح.
He can't love and then dislike to hear him praised.
ما لا يدخل في العقل ولا يقبله الذوق.
That it does not. The mind doesn't accept that, nor does good taste.
فلذاك أهل العلم يسنوا المولد.
For this reason, the people of knowledge made the Mawlid a good practice.
إنما مشى في هذا التعبير على ما اشتهر بين الناس.
He only phrased it in this way because that was what was common among people.
وإلا فذكر المولد نفسه كان في الكتاب العزيز.
Otherwise, mentioning the Mawlid itself was in the mighty book.
وذكر قصة مولده تليت على مسمعه صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And the mention of the story of his birth was recited to his ears.
وتحدث هو بنفسه عنها.
And he himself spoke of it.
قال وإن أمي رأت حين وضعتني نورا أضاءت له قصور الشام.
And he said, and verily my mother saw when she bore me light from which the palaces of Sham shone.
بل قد نظم سيدنا العباس عمه فيه مولدا.
And beyond that, his uncle, our master Abbas, composed a mawlid
وجاء بسند صحيح.
And it's mentioned with the sanad al-sahih.
عند رجوعه من غزوة تبوك.
When he returned from the battle of Tabuk.
ذاك آخر عمره صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And that was the end of his life.
هذه آخر غزوة غزاها.
And this was the last غزوة he went on.
العباس عمه قال إذن لي أن أمتدحك بشعر يا رسول الله.
And then his uncle Abbas said, "O Messenger of Allah, allow me to praise you with poetry."
قال قل لا يفض الله فاك.
And he said, "Go ahead and say it. May Allah not allow your teeth to fall out."
فنظم قصة المولد.
So then he composed the story of the Mawlid.
قال من قبلها أي قبل الدنيا هذه طبت في الظلال عن الجنة وفي مستودع حيث يخصف الورق وطفقا يخصفان عليهما من ورق الجنة.
So the first line is, and prior to this, meaning prior to the dunya, you were good and pure in the shadows, meaning in Jannah, where the fig leaves were adorned. And then Habib recited the line of the verse of the Quran, and they began to paste fig leaves upon themselves.
ثم هبط البلاد.
And then you descended to the lands.
لا بشر أنت ولا مضغة ولا علق.
Not yet in human form, nor in the form of the feet stages of the fetus.
بل نطفة تركب السفينة.
But rather a nutfa, like the seed riding in the ark.
يقصد سفينة نوح.
Intending the ship of Noah,
وقد ألجم نسرا وأهله الغرق.
And drowning silenced Nasr and its people.
تنقل من صالب إلى رحم.
You were transferred from a loins to a womb.
إذا مضى عالم بدا طبقه.
When one realm passed on, or one generation passed on, another appeared.
وأنت لما ولدت أشرقت الأرض.
And you, when you were born, the earth was illuminated.
وضاءت بنورك الأفق.
And from your light, the horizon shone.
فنحن في ذلك الضياء.
And we are in that light.
وذلك النور.
And that radiance.
وسبل الرشاد نخترق.
And the pathways of guidance we traverse.
هذا مولد.
That's a mawlid.
كامل.
That's a complete mawlid.
سمعته أذن محمد.
And the ear of Muhammad heard them.
ما قال عمه العباس بالغت.
And his uncle Abbas said, "You conveyed."
ولا زيدت مدح.
Or he didn't say to his uncle that you were excessive or praised him. And he didn't say you innovated. And he didn't say you went beyond my sunnah. But rather he prayed for him and said, "May Allah not allow your teeth to fall out." So he reached the age of 80 and none of his teeth fell out.
قال فكان أمرا رشدا. يقول النبهاني أرض الوراء إلا غواة نجدي. بما أنه خففها بعض الذي طبعوا مولده فقالوا إلا عليم رشدي. وهي أصل كلام النبهاني قال أرض الوراء إلا غواة نجدي.
So he said that only إلا عليم رشدي.
عجيب.
Except someone without any right guidance. I mean, this was someone who came from the land of Najd, and I was talking about someone who criticized his mawlid that he had printed.
وهكذا ختموا بعد الأبيات الكثيرة بالمعاني الكثيرة بأبيات الشيخ طه.
And also, after mentioning numerous lines that were full of meaning, he concluded, the Munshid concluded with lines from a Sheikh Taha.
وإنما عبر عن مشاعر حواها.
And he only he conveyed feelings of this love.
ولاح له من أنوار محمد سناها.
And some of the lights of Muhammad, the splendid lights of Muhammad appeared for him.
فتوسل إلى الوالد بالولد.
So he, through the child, sought or reached the father.
فصادفه سيب من جود الواحد الأحد.
And so he received a pouring of the munificence of Allah the One.
وقديما قال شاعر الفرزدق.
And of old times, the poet al-Farazdaq said,
وهو يصف علي بن الحسين.
describing Ali ibn al-Husayn,
من يعرف الله يعرف أولية ذا.
Someone who knows Allah knows the prominence of this one, or the primacy of him.
فالدين من بيت هذا ناله الأمم.
And he said, so the nations attained the deen from this one's house.
وقال من معشر حبهم دينه.
And he said from a group, or they are a group who love of them is religion, and hating them is disbelief, and nearness to them is a sanctuary and a protection. If they counted the people of taqwa, or if they are counted, they are the imams of these. And if it's asked who are the best people on earth, it's said them.
كان كثير من العارفين يقولون نرجو أن هذه القصيدة تشفع لفرزدق ويكون سبب قبوله عند الله.
Many of the knowers of Allah, they say, we hope and we believe that this qasida will be an intercession for Farazdak and a cause of his acceptance with Allah.
وقبله شفعت القصيدة في كعب بن زهير.
And prior to that, the poem interceded for its composer, Ka'b ibn Zuhayr. The Prophet ﷺ had made his blood lawful and had ordered his execution. And he entered the noble mosque and praised the Prophet ﷺ with his famous qasida. So he turned from someone whose blood was lawful to someone who is respected and honored.